afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for August 22nd, Sunday, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. There's some carriers that people are having issues with sound discrepancies when they're either beginning or the end of the meditation. So my end is clear. There's no interruption, there's no cracking, there's no fading, there's no in and out. So it's difficult to try to talk with your carrier because they'll act like it's just they don't know what you're talking about. Maybe it's a signal issue or tower issue or something like that. But some people have experienced that on and off. So you just might be aware of it. There's always efforts being made to diminish the higher frequency, which is futile. We're going to be having a special Friday health call, Reverse Aging, with Patty McPeak and Dr. Russ Newman. So I recommend everybody get on that call because we're going to cover a lot of health issues currently that's befallen the civilization of the planet. And that'll be at 9 p.m. Eastern this coming Friday. Picture everyone on this planet, because it is doable eventually, enjoying themselves and loving themselves. Let go of all thoughts that keep you from loving yourself. Many of us are very, very hard on ourselves. We were all created to be exactly as we are. There's no need to change. The change is always predicated on the external authority on this planet, the physical world, the material world, how we were raised, directions we took. Savor the variety, the difference between yourself and others. Savor them, not judge them. What an amazing collection of expression of the self. It's just looking at people, how they express themselves. It's fascinating. Our uniqueness is what makes this universe so incredible. People think that becoming enlightened, can take years and years and years, and it can for some. When one's own true nature is known, then there is being without beginning and end. It is unbroken awareness bliss, Sri Marana Maharishi. It has been said throughout the ages that all of the emotionally painful and traumatic events that all of us have experienced at one time or another in our lives are here to awaken us. Each event is a sort of spiritual fertilizer that provides the essential nutrients to create optimum growth. The shit of life simply pushes us deeper inside our being where we are forced to grow, stretch, and discover more forgiveness, gentleness, compassion for ourselves. Life contains this sacred setup, so we are guaranteed to have a really awesome spiritual adventure, and we are all waking up in a variety of very unique ways. In order to become enlightened, each one of us must choose to first see how we have been indoctrinated, programmed, and conditioned by our parents, family, the media, formal educational system to ignore that there is a divine magical power within each and every single one of us. Our entire society has become deeply unaware of the profound ancient truth that we are divinely, magical, all-powerful, manifesting beings who can create anything we can imagine For many centuries, we have been put to sleep to this spiritual understanding collectively. Often, it requires a quite radical event in life to uproot our old thinking and shake us awake from our long, deep slumber. So whenever something is happening in this outer world that scares you, remember that it is sacred fertilizer from the universe. It is meant to wake you up to a deeper healing energy inside. Now, perhaps your mind is thinking that the title or the meaning of this information is a bit ridiculous. How can anyone become enlightened within the next 5 hours? It's good to know that the depth of your doubt equals the level of your indoctrination into the matrix. So it's interesting, for the next week of your life, choose to or not, try out something completely new. Imagine that you are not who you think you are. Try to imagine that you are beyond all the limiting ideas which your mind has imposed upon you. Give yourself a permission slip to be free from all your boxes of thinking and believing about who you are. The information that you're listening to is based on 1,500-year-old yogic science. It is very powerful. If you devote the next year of your life to learning this ancient yogic technique, you will relieve yourselves from decades and perhaps lifetimes of future suffering. Now, this teaching comes from the wisdom of Patanjali, who is the founder of yoga. And these are the actual instructions from a great master who saw that enlightenment is a possibility for every human being. Never exclude yourself from this possibility. Enlightenment is an opportunity to become free from all human sufferings and live the most enjoyable, healing, fulfilling, and orgasmic life you could ever imagine. This is what everybody's heart truly desires, isn't it? Now, the first step is to practice redirecting your focus toward the source where your thoughts are coming from. To some, that might sound a little strange, where my thoughts are coming from. Notice where this next thought is arising from, and hold your attention there. You don't have to cognitively locate the physical neurons in your brain where the thought is coming from. That's not the point. This is an exercise of simply turning your attention within towards the divine creation, infinite source, where every experience of this life is emanating from. When you can hold your undivided attention on the source of thought for 2 minutes in a row, when you can hold your undivided attention to the source of thought for 2 minutes in a row, you will enter the official state of meditation according to Patanjali. You will enter the official state of meditation. When you can extend that meditation time to 28 minutes in a row, you'll reach the first level of bliss called samadhi. When your body and awareness are strong enough to remain for 5 hours in a row of full unbroken awareness on the source of thought, you will be completely awakened from Maya, the grand illusion, and become an enlightened being like Buddha and Christ. Now you understand what the real practice of yoga was created for. And what do you have planned this weekend? Remain in wonder. If you want the mysteries to open up for you, answers are dangerous. They kill your wonder. Also, the reason this technique works is because whatever you place your attention on grows. If you hold your attention, or when you hold your attention on any one particular thing, loads of universal energy pours into it, and it becomes your God. Everything you experience in reality comes from whatever your mind dwells on. Whatever you believe the truth, reality, or experience is, it comes from the length of attention that you are giving to it. All the greatest treasures are hidden behind that which we wouldn't want to be with, Pamela Wilson. All of us, all of us can step out of suffering and enter nirvana. Our five senses, see, feel, smell, taste, and touch, the outer world, yet our imaginations are responsible for creating pleasure or suffering out of this. All the suffering that we've all experienced in our entire lives has been generated by our minds, interpreting, judging, resisting, or attacking some idea about someone or something in the outer world. Now, I'm not speaking about physical pain as much as human suffering. The suffering of humanity comes from over-identifying with the mind and not knowing the spiritual truth of who we are. The reason the mind cannot remain focused in one direction for a very long time is because of the layers of emotional and mental pain that are stored in the memory of the human body. You know, when we lose a limb or we lose an organ or we lose anything in this life, the memory of that is stored in the body, that it's still there. The longer we sit still in silence and meditate, the more feelings of anxiety, irritation, and uncomfortableness and fear will start to bubble up and out of nowhere and take over. We may be focused and deeply relaxed when all of a sudden the mind jumps to some random event 2 weeks ago. The traumas inside us that bubble up have been collected and stored inside our energetic bodies because we did not process and integrate them fully at the time they occurred. To be able to actually sit and meditate for 5 hours in a row, we must fully release all of these old stuck past pains from our DNA. We must choose to fully allow the negative mental, emotional energy to be fully re-experienced within a new light. This happens by welcoming the uncomfortable emotional energy into the light of our pure consciousness. If the negative energy does not release by simply giving it your full loving presence, you may need to use your breath, movement, sound, intention, and a deeper relaxation before it shifts. When you feel the emotional release come through, your body and mind will feel energetically lighter. In this lightness, you rest back into the state of pure awareness, emptiness of mind, and relax deeply into the healing feeling that the trauma was released from your body. Anxiety cannot be dissolved through thinking because thinking itself is a sort of anxiety. Okay. By abiding in the awareness of this every day of your life, you will one day purify the body from all the stored traumas, karmas, sanskaras, and become enlightened. This path, should you decide to accept it, take it, is a science and is proven by the ancient masters. It is 100% guaranteed. You follow it. It is 100% guaranteed. Remaining in a pure state of relaxation and awareness is all it takes. Whatever the mind jumps to focus upon is never going to be as amazing as the bliss of entering samadhi. Being devoted to this one simple truth is vital if you want to transcend suffering, spiritually awaken, and completely liberate your life. You must choose to practice something every day if you want to get good at it. You must understand and choose to understand that you won't be able to keep your attention only on the source of thought in the beginning months. It may take you 3 to 6 months of daily practice before you see or feel any results. The key is to not get wrapped up in the thoughts or judgments themselves of what this practice is about. The goal of meditation is enlightenment. With deep determination, we will all start tapping into our pure, unlimited power and infinite potentiality as a soul. Yet, we must choose to devote ourselves first to being present for just 2 full minutes of pure, undiluted attention towards the source of thought. Sharpen the blade of awareness every day, and you will get there. Once you reach 2 minutes, you will begin feeling lighter. Once you reach 2 minutes, you will begin feeling lighter, freer, and clearer on the inside. You will feel the difference. I'll guarantee it. To cling to life is to cling to the 5 senses, to normal consciousness, thereby shunning the superconsciousness within which the Atman is known. Patanjali. Life is an amazing adventure. Our souls are here to explore. No matter what happens in our outer world, it is all for our soul's growth and spiritual evolution. Everything that occurs is not by chance, yet part of a divine play that we all set up to elevate our consciousness and cause us to grow spiritually. We probably have forgotten this, yet by reading and understanding what I'm sharing with you right now, and remembering that you are divine, you are born as a super powerful manifesting being who can create anything that you desire. Once you know in your heart this deep and direct truth, you won't have another problem in your life. Everything will become an opportunity to explore. It is good to know that we are a deeply interconnected network of beings on this planet. And when enough people are living in a higher state of mind, whether it is relaxed, at peace, in love, or enlightened, then the 100th monkey effect will take place. This means that this higher elevated consciousness will exponentially spread throughout everyone on the entire planet. In a matter of milliseconds, all 8 billion plus people will spontaneously feel lighter, freer, and more at peace for no apparent reason at all. Remember that this life is not about satisfying your egos, for that would only bring temporary happiness. We are here to connect deeply with the minds and hearts and souls of this entire planet and experience being one family of love and light. Do this. Choose to do it. You'll raise your consciousness to the highest peak. Ecstasy is our very nature. Not to be ecstatic is simply unnecessary also. When you make these spiritual explorations number one priority in your day, you will experience a multitude of amazing things. This radically alive lifestyle is a constant choice that we consciously make before we start our day. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies, head to toe, inside and out. You're the master of the body. Most people don't know that. They think they are the body. But we are not the body. We are not the name. We are not the personality. We are not the character. We are the God within the body. Therefore, it gives us the opportunity, once we get to a certain point of understanding, we master the body. We know everything there is to know about the body that we're in. Every blood vessel, every artery, every tissue, everything, every organ. So when the body absorbs things, stress, anxiety, fear, worry, anger, hatred, greed, manipulation, deception, when it does that, it absorbs it. It stores it. And if we aren't cognitive, we don't have the understanding or the awareness of who and what we are, this just builds and builds and builds and builds. It just doesn't end. And most of us take it till we leave the body. But now there's a way to totally relax yourself. It's like all the stuff that is absorbed in that body. There comes a point where things start to break down. So if you blew up a balloon, and you picture the balloon as your body constantly filling up with negativities, hatreds, angers, fears, worries, anxieties, fearfulness, and you took that balloon and you just let all the air out, just gone, all the air. And that air is all the pressure that body has been under, with all the anxieties, worries, fears, and stresses. Gone that quickly. You visualize this, it's exactly what will happen. You'll experience it. You don't have any need for them. They don't serve you any good at all. So you experience them, and then you let them go. They're gone, and they're not coming back. You'll have new ones come in, predicated from the perspective and understanding of the ego mind and their attempt to keep you in suffering, temporary happiness, So whatever they are, only you know what they are. Use the balloon, and you'll see how they just evaporate. You feel yourself getting lighter once you do it. Now, once this is done and the body is completely relaxed, that's when we move into the now, because the now is the breath. The now is the breath. Every single breath we take is the now, but most of us aren't even concentrating on the now. We don't pay attention to it. We're either in the past or the future. And, of course, the past is dead. It doesn't exist anymore. It's inert. And we really don't. We store our experiences in our subconscious mind. Some of us will have memories, that we interact with and experience. Enjoyable. And others of us some of us stay there. I don't know if it's conscious or not. I don't think so. But we stay in that past and we live that past. We take that past, we take it into a future that doesn't exist, We would create that future from that past, and we relive that past in that future. And that's why so many of us will say, no matter what we do, we always seem to end up here. Some of us will wander, understanding that the now is right there. It's right there. You look at three flat stones, and the water in between them, and so you jump from the past to the future. Most of us ignore the now. So we wander into a future that doesn't exist, and we wander around. And we constantly ask ourselves when things are going to take place. When are we going to have this? When is this going to happen? When am I going to have enough money to do this? When am I going to meet the right person? When am I going to be happy? When am I going to have fun? And there's no answer there. There never is, because of the fact that there is no future. You're creating it in the now. Everything happens in the now. And once in the now, and you're focused on the breath, as long as you're focused on that breath, you will be in the now. As soon as you don't, you won't. This is why we get so clogged up emotionally, because we don't live in the now. We live in the future or the past. So once we understand that we're here in these bodies to master things, to experience them, create our experiences to perfect our creations. And whenever you wander off on thoughts that aren't yours, tens of millions of them, the clouds passing in the sky, always remember to be absolutely gentle, kind, generous, humble, and in the deepest of gratitude with yourself at all times, 24/7. And you stay in the now. People will ask you, what are you going to do in 2 years? Or what are you going to do next year? You know, I don't even give that any attention. I'm only in the now. I am in the now all the time. I focus only on the now and in the now. The reason that we suffer, that so many on this planet suffer, is because we're always living in the past or the future and having expectations and attachments to all of those things, which pull us right into suffering. Because of the fact that, you're expecting something that doesn't happen. You get upset. You're disappointed, irritated. And this lowers your vibrational frequency. That's what it does. So you begin to realize that you're in that body to master it. By mastering the body, you learn and experience. By learning and experience, you become aware of who and what you are. Does that happen to all of us? It's there. The reason it doesn't happen to all of us is because of the fact that we're so distracted by the external world. So your knowing is what brings you into more and more understanding of what enlightenment is and what you are as an enlightened being. Now we know that these bodies we're in are not who we are. We are not the body. We know that the heart mind, the ego mind, the subconscious mind, the higher self, the spirit, the soul, whole one. We know that when our body's in full relaxation and we don't have a care in the world, you can look inside that body you're in. You can see all that you care to see. You can see the energy vortexes, the 7 chakras. Those are conduits. They're etherical. We are etherical, the gods that we are, not the body. So doesn't it make sense that those 7 energy vortexes from the tailbone to the top of the head, these vibrant wheels of light, just 7 different colors, doesn't it make sense that that's a highway for the gods that we are? So the divine energy of the gods we are, the divine energy that the chakras are, we flow through them. We're like a fountain, an energy fountain. We flow up, around, back up, around, back up, around. So this is how we get to know this body we're in. This is how you get to know what's going on with it. Every little thing. This is where you're not in the ego mind also. Because in the ego mind, you would be worried, stressing, and fearing about everything that wasn't ordinary that starts happening with your body. Instead, as the God looking at the body, you're able to identify everything that's wrong with the body or that's not wrong with the body. We will, as a civilization, come to that full understanding and practice it. So we have other parts. We have parts that are asleep of us, parts that are awake. So the ones that are asleep are with us always, because they're part of us. But they don't hear us. So in the meditations, they're with us, but they're asleep. That's why we seek out those parts of us that are consciously aware, to a certain extent, that are awake. Like all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. Now this includes everything. Those on this planet, on it, in it, above it, and below it. This includes the archangels, cherubim, seraphim, the archetypes. This includes the ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, Amoria, Bandantia, Pel, Tha, Yahweh, Yeshua. Many, many, many light energy beings. All the galactics, all the off-worlders, all the celestials. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, beneath her. All of our loved ones. All of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. So all those beings, I mean, they come in gigaplexes. One gigaplex fills this entire universe with not even an inch of sacred space to spare. They come in trillions of gigaplexes from trillions of universes from every direction. These are the archangels and ascended masters. Archangels are a civilization that vibrate at a different frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them like we see each other. We meet with them, we talk with them, we interact with them. We don't identify as them as an angel until usually after, and it dawns on us that was an angel. And that's bliss. Now they all have the same message, but they say it in unending ways. And it really comes down to is that, isn't it magna glorious, stupendous, happiest, joyous to be alive in these bodies? And that is bliss. They can surround any one of us at any one time in the tens of thousands because of their vibrational frequency. They can hold a large number in a small area. The Ascended Masters, they have mastered ascending into physical form and out of physical form. They hold pure consciousness God form. All the off-worlders, galactics, celestials, the ones that we're familiar with, the Pleiadians, the Sirians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the Felines, Zeta Reticuli, Nords, the Greys, the Draco, the Reptilian, the Golden Pyramid, the Avian. Endless, endless. They have been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. In the billions. All of our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've been inhabited. Now, all of these, countless, endless, are consciously aware, and they are all with us now. And we all carry parts of us that are asleep. And we're all gathered arm in arm, hand in hand, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all love. And we're all God. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, and continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates from the God force, love, light, energy within each and every single one of us. It is so brilliant that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take 1 billion trillion suns even to come close to its brilliance. And we're flooding this planet with the light, the God, the love that we all are. We're flooding it 24/7. Sleeping, awake, flooding it. All of our brothers and sisters, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. We begin to ascend above the planet. As we do, we are met with this massive ocean of glitter. It is reflecting amongst all of us, trillions, gigaplexes of us, uncountable numbers of flashing, colored, multicolored lights. So we go to the point of reflection, we see that they're perfectly etched mirror. So we enter it, and we discover that all of us, are teaching and learning from each other. No matter who enters your life, no matter whose life you enter, we are all teaching and learning. You imagine when you start zeroing in, directing yourself to that, what are they teaching me? What am I teaching them? What am I learning? What have I learned? Fantastic. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind ourselves that we are the power of healing. Then we're met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then we're met with the white fire. This is a column of light that reminds us all that we created, that we are imbued from head to toe, inside and out, with a white fire armor. It is impenetrable. It emanates from the God force, love, light, energy within each and every single one of us. We are protected 24/7. We always have been, we always will be. Nothing, no lower dark matter frequencies, no survival matter frequencies, no demon attachment, possessions, nothing can harm us. Yet, only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency low enough through hatred, greed, anger, frustration, hurriedness, envy, anxiety, all of it, you will, consciously or unconsciously, lower your vibrational frequency low enough where you'll create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so, and all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies will come flooding in. Then you'll have demon possession attachment. Then you'll have issues. Now, if you do decide to do this, we have created several columns of light to remind us. And there's double one, the purple transmuting flame and the violet ray. And the purple transmuting flame we created to remind ourselves we can bring it in. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are vaporized no more. Then the violet ray right behind it. We created this column of light to remind us we can bring in the violet ray. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, and restoring our vibrational harmony of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is the column of light that we created that reminds us all we are the sun, the sunlight, the sun sets, the sun rises, the rain, the rainbows, the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the forests, the trees, the soils, the mountains. We are everything, and everything is us. So the next time you see a sunset, or a sunrise, or a beachfront, or a mountain view, or a starry lit night sky, it is you. It has always been you, and it always will be you. We're the beauty, the grandeur, the majesty. It is us. Always has been, always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. We continue to ascend above the planet. And as we do, some of us step outside our physical form and float effortlessly above our bodies. And why do we do this? Well, if we're carrying physical form, we do it because we can. We come into immediate contact with this massive crystalline light tower. We created it. It's larger than this solar system. In the center of the column, we see this massive oblong sphere, In the center of the sphere is this golden white bowl of light, and it is surrounded by numerous rings of multicolored lights, and they're all sending. It's like a sparkling energy field and that just come and penetrate us and saturate us. And of course, the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And then comes well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, great prosperity, great abundance, total bliss. And it's flooding us all. And it is a reflection of the gods that we are in these bodies. Everything's a reflection of the gods that we are. At the top, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees. As it's doing right now, 24/7, flooding, saturating, bathing all of us, head to toe, inside now. All of our brothers and sisters, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. Now, we are all drops of this golden ocean. Not only that, we hold the essence of the golden ocean. And the drops are the golden ocean the drops. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. It sits in our circle. We all created this sphere. Over 3.5 years ago, it holds over 1,500 of our meditations in perpetual motion, which means they don't end, they don't die, they don't dissipate, they continue to intensify, they continue to expand. And this sphere is flooding us all head to toe inside now, 24/7. It doesn't end. So feel it through your heart minds, how it floods you, and how it all is a reflection of the God that you are inside that body. Anxiety cannot be discovered through or dissolved through thinking, because thinking itself is a sort of anxiety. I'll join you in a meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in through the mouth and an easy breath in through the nose and an easy breath out through the mouth. Move easily and slowly. I'll share this little story with everyone. Is psychoanalysis really that useless? Not always. Sometimes it helps too. Here's a story for everybody to meditate on. Felix Simmons was a nice guy, but a social flop. Although he was 35, he had never conquered his childhood habit of bedwetting. Finally, one of his friends told him, "Look, Felix, you might as well know the truth. We're all very fond of you, but nobody can stand to come into your house because it smells. And you're driving your wife up the wall. Why don't you see a psychiatrist about your problem? Your neurosis is not too uncommon and it can be cured. Get it over with once and for all." Felix was convinced that he must do something to change his life. After 6 months of treatment, he ran into a friend, some same friend. "Well, Felix, did you take my advice?" "Yes, I sure did," answered Felix. "I've been seeing psychiatrists 3 times a week for 6 months now." "Well, have you had any results?" "Oh," beamed Felix, "great results. You don't wet the bed anymore." "Oh, I still do that, but now I am proud of it." Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, into the following morning. And we will return here Monday, August 23rd, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.